here's something we can talk about, and I'd love your take on that. So there are a couple of new effects pedals coming out from Vox this year. NAMM 2024, these effects will bring your amp to the next level, which is a bold claim. Yep. Vox has issued its first Valve Energy pedals in 4 years, and they're said to be unlike any other stomp boxes on the market. When I've never heard that before.
I've never heard that either. That's brand new.
Exactly. So what is it? So Vox doubles down on the amp-like overdrives of the original drop while increasing the range versatility and appeal with some pedalboard problem solvers. So what I see is 4 different pedals. And what is there? So that's obviously a graphic EQ, fuel injector. What's that? Level drive. Seems to be an overdrive. Power burst looks like a boost, and then smooth impact sounds like a compressor to me. So what is this? The fuel injector is a tube overdrive. Okay. And it has these nice funky graphics in here. Okay, then we have the power burst. That's a tube booster. Okay, gotcha. With only one control, and you can say you can determine it to be a treble, a natural, or a mid boost. Okay. Then we have the smooth impact, which obviously is a compressor, and then we have the tone sculptor, which, as the name says, is sculpting your tone as a 6-band EQ. So all of these are based on the NewTube technology, and I'm not sure. I once tried one of these NewTube tube screamers, and to be honest, when I compared it with a regular tube screamer, the impact, the difference wasn't that dramatic to me to say like, wow, I definitely need a new tube screamer. You know, it's I don't know if I can see pricing, but let's see. No, I don't see pricing. So be interesting
they're probably going to be
see.
similar to the original ones they dropped. I think they were like 200 something, like 249 or something like that. So I'm assuming they're going to be in that price range. A lot of people love the original designs they came out with. Like the first ones they came out with were more like amp in a box style pedals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And these are more utilitarian type pedals, which I think is cool. That little graphic window that you see there is whenever you're playing, it's showing you like the ADSR of whatever your frequency is from the guitar, and it's showing you how it gets affected by how you control it. So you can see like the clipping and all the movement of the sound wave, which, I mean, it's kind of cool, but not really necessary. But at the same time, it kind of gives you a visual representation of how you're affecting your signal. Now, as far as these, they're really like focusing on tube being the primary word, but I'm not going to say it's misleading because it is a tube. It's just not a tube in like the traditional like 12AX7 or something like that, right?
Yeah.
As far as that technology goes, I've spoken about it in the previous podcast. I think like one of maybe episode 3 or 4 or something like that. My experience with NewTube was with the Mini Super Beetle, which I really like. Mm-hmm. But what ends up happening is that it sounds good on its own, but the moment that you take a pedal and put it through the amplifier, it kind of gets mushy. It's way less dynamic and doesn't respond the way you would like it to. So these pedals, I really don't know how they play with other pedals on a pedal board. I wish I could have tried like the original series. I tried to contact Vox because I do a lot of Vox content. And they were like, well, we don't have any online on hand, so you're going to have to reach out to a distributor in your country and see what they say. I never heard back from them. So I never got to try them. And whenever I see the price tag, I'm like, I'm not gonna risk it. I'm just gonna wait until I can actually like borrow one, try it out. I love Vox. I love Vox amps. The pedals seem cool, but how do they play out? I'm not sure yet. So I can't really voice an opinion on whether that's going to be good or not, but I like the fact that they're going for more, like I said previously, utilitarian approach. Like, here's an EQ, here's a compressor, here's a boost. Those are all essential things, but are they bringing anything new to the table? That's what I'm curious about.
Yeah, that seems to be the question. So what I'm giving them credit for is the visual design. So they're using their own types of enclosures, which is great. And then the other thing is that they have like these very minimal kind of etched in graphics in there. So I like that. So
Yeah.
From the graphics, I mean, I don't know if I would do it the same way, but at least from like the visual aspect, it looks great. Again, the new tube thing is, I think it's such a thing of perception. If you're into that kind of stuff and somehow it convinces you that it's going to work great and it's going to make everything better for you, then great, perfect. Then, go for it. But this whole thing with the what does it say? The OLED display exhibiting oscilloscope and pertinent meters, that's just a gimmick for me. I don't see the practical use.
No. Like you say, it's a bit gimmicky, but at the same time, I think that little gimmick is probably what gets you to identify this pedal as being a Vox pedal. I don't know. Maybe there's another company that does something similar, but I haven't seen one. So maybe, that's something that's unique to them. But yeah, they have a sleek design. So yeah, the pedal does look cool. And I know I'm kind of like splitting hairs here, but those would be made even cooler if the in and outputs were top mounted.
Yeah, because I was about to say that.
yeah, because then you could stack more of them together, right? That's something I really love with pedals is when they're top mounted, you get more space on a cramped little pedal board. But, if you use like flatter head input jacks, you can still squeeze them fairly close together. But if you're using like like I have these guys here, like cables like these, the moment that you go like this, it takes up a lot of room on a pedal board. So if you're putting them side by side, man, it's a bit of a pain in the ass. But I mean, I'm just like kind of splitting hairs here because otherwise I really haven't tested it out, but they look like cool pedals. And maybe at some point this year, I'm going to be able to try them out and actually voice an opinion on whether this is something cool from Vox or not.